Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started, guys, please subscribe if you are new here with the notification bell on. We're on the road to 158,000 subscribers, and I would love you to join me on this journey, so hit subscribe and join the fam. But what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another spooky video. And today, we're going to be talking about another scary story. Now, this story is called The Old Lady. And it's a scary story about an old lady, obviously, who was very lonely. And so she kept a collection of severed heads on her mantelpiece. So the story goes there was a police officer sitting with a pen and paper in his hand when the old lady comes back into the room after making a cup of tea. She places the cup of tea on the table in front of him, and then she says, "Well, officer, I think I should probably tell you why I did it." She then says to the police officer, "The truth is, it just gets kind of lonely around here, and I wanted some company. And so I just like to sit and talk to them. Young people never want to spend time with an old lady like me, so I just did it for the company." The police officer just sat there and stared at her impassively. "Mrs. Ordway was the first," she said. "She came to my door, and she knocked on my door to sell me beauty products, so I invited her inside. And when she came inside, I offered her a cup of tea. But when I went to the kitchen, I fetched my axe. And when I came back to the living room, I came up behind her with the axe and chopped off her head." She then says to the police officer, "My next victim was Mr. Bilgeman, who was a plumber and came by to fix my leaky pipes. And when he was taking a break from his work, I offered him a cup of tea. And when I went to the kitchen, I fetched my axe. And then I returned and crept up behind him and chopped off his head also." The next victim was the paper boy, little Jimmy Watkins. He was delivering a paper to me, and I invited him in for some cookies, because children don't like tea, but they can't resist a good cookie. And while he was munching away at the cookies, I went to the kitchen, fetched my axe, and then I crept up behind him, and again, I chopped off his head. She then says to the police officer, "I stuffed all of the heads and placed them on my mantelpiece. I like to talk to them day and night. I carry on conversations with them. It really helps with the loneliness. The only problem was what to do with the bodies. I couldn't stuff all of them. That would be way too much work. So I came up with a genius idea. I would just stuff the one of them and then place a different head on the body every time I wanted to have a conversation with it. And then when I wanted to change the person, I would just take the head off the body and put it back on the mantelpiece and then change it to a different head. Isn't that a clever idea, officer?" But the officer just sat there and stared at her. But then the old lady says to the policeman, "I'm getting a little bored of our conversation now." So she stood up, took the police officer's head off the body, and puts it on the mantelpiece. And then she changes it to a different head. She then took the head of the saleswoman who came to her door with the beauty products, places it on the body, and then she says, "Oh, hello again, Mrs. Ordway. How nice it is to see you again. How have you been?" What? That is really creepy. I didn't see that coming at the end. When I first read this story, I was like, wow, that is a turn of events. So in case you guys didn't get it, it makes you think by reading the story that there's like a police officer who is investigating her for having these severed heads in her house. So he's like sitting there with the pen and paper in his hand, taking notes. And he's just listening, because when you look back at the beginning of the story, the police officer doesn't say anything. It just says he was staring at her impassively, and then it says like he just stared at her a lot. It says that a few times in the story, but you don't really catch on to it until the very end. She was talking, she had killed a police officer, and then she put the police officer's head on the body too. And she was having a conversation with him like he was alive, but he's really not. And then she got bored of the conversation with him, so she took the head, put it back on the mantelpiece, changed it to the other head. Wow. That is crazy. And for some reason, I'm getting like the weirdest like vision of like the old lady from It Chapter 2 when like Beverly is in the house. She goes to visit her old apartment and she's like in the apartment with that old grandma who like runs around with her tits sagging everywhere. Remember that scene? Like, that was scary. But that old lady, when she's sitting on the couch and she does that like Pennywise stare and she's like, you know what they say about dairy? Nobody ever really dies. Ugh. I don't know why, but that old lady freaks me the hell out. She's even scarier than the old lady in the library who was staring at Ben. That was creepy also, but I was getting visions of that woman in this story, like the woman in Beverly's apartment. That was creepy. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big fat juicy like on it. I would really appreciate that. And guys, let me know in the comment section for question of the day. Did you expect that? Did you see that coming? Because I didn't until the very end. Even when I got to the end, I was like, what? And then I realized, like, she's talking to a police officer head. But that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, of course. I will always love you. Don't forget that. And if you want to become a patron, links in the description to be featured in my videos. And remember the most important thing of all, chase your dreams and keep on fighting. Peace out, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoy my videos and you would like to support me and my channel more and also be featured in my videos, go check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. I would really appreciate any help you guys have to offer. As you can see, we have different tiers, different rewards, so go over there, check it out, and I would really appreciate that. Every little helps. Thank you so much. And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe with the notification bell on, and also follow me on all my social media. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat. So go follow me on all of those, and remember the most important thing, I love you guys, and chase your dreams.